people you meet are going to be the most important thing in your life. And that goes for your family, that goes for your friends who you have right now. Yeah, you want to be surrounded by great people. You really are the average of the 5 people or 10 people that you're surrounded by. We all think that we can withstand influence. We can't.
Good habits are hard to come by. But what's even harder to come by are people that have good habits that you can be around. That's even tougher. You are the average of the 5 people that you spent the most time with growing up. For most of the guys and gals on the planet. Let's go out and have a drink after work. You don't say, oh, well, he's a high performer. She's a pisshead. That's not how you pick the group, is it? I'm going to make you give me 2 lists. One list, your goals. Intermediate, short-term, long-term goals, okay? Both in personal and business. You put another list together and you say who you met with from Sunday midnight till Saturday midnight for 1 week. Who you talked to or who you met with. Okay. And you put the list together. Okay, let's say there's 50 people on this list. Now, you put a number by every person that you emailed, Skype, tweet, and which one of your goals on this other side of the paper that have anything to do with. You will be staggered, stunned, gobsmacked, awestruck. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
When you cultivate who's around you, you're cultivating who you are. You don't think so. You think those are just your friends or who you're killing time with. You think it's for fun. You are whittling yourself. You are sculpting yourself out of those people. You just don't think about it that way. But that's what's happening.
Toxic people, we get it, right? We all understand that we want to get rid of toxic people. That's more obvious. The real danger, I think, is ambivalent relationships. So these ambivalent relationships are the people where either you don't know how you stand with them, so you don't know if they like you or not, and they're also the people where you don't know if you really enjoy hanging out with them or not. And the biggest thing that happens with friendships is they do go stale. And that's a very weird thing to say, but there are people, I'm sure you can think of someone in your life where every time their number pops up on a text message, you're like, oh, it's been a while, I better call them. Or you see them out of convenience or out of location. And I think that those are the kind of friendships that really drain you. There's actually a study that was done on ambivalent relationships. They did a research study with police officers. And they asked police officers to identify the amount of toxic people in their workplace and the amount of ambivalent people. And they found that the police officers who had more ambivalent relationships were sick more often, had less happiness at work, and didn't like their job as much than police officers who had toxic people. And the reason for this is because if you have a toxic person, boundaries are easy. They ask you to go out to lunch and you're like, no thanks, right? Like, it's a no thanks. Whereas if an ambivalent person asks you out to lunch, or asks you to their birthday party, or asks you to work on something, it takes this mental energy where you have this thing where you're like, ooh, like, will it be good? Would I rather eat alone at my desk, or would I rather have lunch with this person? And when it's not always easy, that's an incredible drain on our emotional energy. And if you are an introvert or an ambivert is someone who is kind of splits between extroversion and introversion, your energy is finite, and our mental space is finite. I thought that mental space was sort of endless, right? You could learn forever. You could think about things forever. But actually, we only have a certain amount of mental time every day. And if we're dedicating that to trying to figure out if someone likes us or not, which is a very important thing, we all like to be liked whether we admit it or not, that I think is a waste of mental energy. Why would we want to spend it towards that? That's why I think ambivalent people are more dangerous. Are you ever doubting that they're really happy for you? I think that that's the only question you have to ask yourself, and it might be an inconvenient truth. Like, don't answer it off the cuff. Like, don't answer it really quickly. Like, try to think of all the times in the last 6 months that you've seen them and shared something. Did you feel like they were as happy as you were about your happiness? A really true good friend will mirror and match that excitement with you. Someone who's not as happy for you will come in with dream killer questions. What happens is I started to see friends who were not only lying to me, but lying to themselves. And I had to make a choice. Was I either going to have fewer high-quality friends or less quality but more quantity friends? And this was right at that stage where I also was trying to figure out what kind of friendships that I want to have on social media. And it's the same, I think, question that we all have to ask ourselves. I think of social media friendships like cotton candy. There's not a lot of substance there. There's not a lot of nutrition.
Right.
You wouldn't text them if you were going through something hard. You wouldn't, call them if something happened to them. But it's a fun, exciting friendship. The thing is you eventually need to have a meal, right? Like cotton candy is okay every once in a while, but if you have too much of it, your teeth begin to like rot from it. They ache from the sugar, and they give you a sugar headache. And so I think that it's about what are the friends that give you nutrition, and then which are those friends that are kind of the surface ones. And that was a big decision I had to make.
You think, oh, I only hang out with these guys because they live near me, but they're cool. We just play video games. They're not like my real influences. What you're doing is who you are. If you're playing Xbox on Friday to blow off steam, but then that same guy crashes on your couch, and then you order some pizza, and then the next day you sleep in, and then you crack a beer and you go out for breakfast, that's fine once every couple months. But if that's what you're doing all the time, that's who you are, even if you don't want to believe it. And I spent a lot of years in denial. Oh, I can go out drinking 4 nights a week. It's not really who I am. I'm just doing this because that's what my friends like doing. That was you, man. That's who you are. That's where your time and energy are going.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are we all doing today? Hope you are good. Hello, we are here. And we are live. So, if you're here this morning, say hello, say hi. Let's know that you are with us. You can see us.
Let's know who's in the room.
Yeah. Can you see us? Can you hear us properly? Do say hello. Do say hi. So this morning, talking about who is in your circle. Wow. Seems deep.
It is
Seems deep. So how's your week been? I hope you guys are well, because all the storms.
Well, for those that are in the UK.
Yeah, I hope you guys are safe and sound, and you stayed home as they said we should. Isn't it?
Well, it depends which part of the UK you're in.
Yeah, that's true.
So not everyone was in the red. So some people could go out and do whatever they needed to do.
Cool. So how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's been going on?
What's been going on? Life, isn't it?
Life. How is life?
Life has been going on, but we are here today and we are alive, so we thank God.
That's it. We are alive and well. So guys, say hello, man. If you're on, let's know that you are on with us. Let's know who is in the building so that we can say hi to you as well.
So that we can build a relationship with you.
I know that you are in our circle.
Yeah. Let's know who's in the Team Olujimi circle this morning.
Yep. So babe, what's up with who's in your circle? What's that mean? Like circle? Are we going around in circles, or what's it?
No, I think it's really about who are you spending your time with? Who are the people that are close to you? Who are the people that you talk to the most?
Okay.
Who are the people that you see regularly? Who are the people that are, most kind of active in the conversations that you're having? I think that's really what that's about. So it doesn't mean that you need to have a physical circle and say everyone come into the circle. No.
Okay.
Hey, good morning, Sese. Hope you're well. Hope the kids are keeping you entertained.
Yeah. Morning. Okay, so you don't need to have a physical circle. So everyone come in.
No, it's not about a physical circle, babe. No. It's about who are the people close to you, who are the relationships that are significant to you. Like the video that we were listening to a minute ago, I think the guy said about like writing a list of the people that you are seeing regularly, like every day, or the people you're in conversation with every day, and do that for like a week. And that helps you to understand like the sort of people that are in your circle. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about building that circle, having the right people in your circle, and really also how do you sustain relationships? How do you sustain the right relationships? So this is not necessarily about husband and wife romantic relationships. No, that's not what this is about. This is really about building relationships with people. Whether it's at work. So, for example, if you're going to work Monday to Friday and you're going into an office, are you in relationship with those people?
Do you have to?
Because you're seeing them every single day.
Yeah, but is it a must?
You have to have some element of relationship with them, babe. because you see them every single day.
Well, are you supposed to come to work, do your job, and then leave?
Yeah, okay, so it's a work relationship, but you see them every single day, so you have to have some level of relationship, some level of pouring out or pouring in or whatever it is.
Well, I say it'll be poured in, isn't it?
So you want to go to work in an office every day, Monday to Friday, and all you do is say hi.
Yeah, there's some. So is it?
They will even avoid you. They will avoid you. They'll be like that guy, that person that doesn't want to talk to us.
So you're supposed to have a relationship with everyone at work.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You're misinterpreting.
You say hi and then you move on. Yeah.
You're misinterpreting. Like, okay, so I used to work in the bank, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things I used to enjoy was being able to like take a break from like facing your computer and working and just chat with the people next to you, the people around you. And I remember when I used to work in the Bristol office, and then when we got married and I moved to London, I moved to the London office. And one of the things that I really, really missed was that interaction with the people around me when I was in the office. No, not that I didn't build. I did.
Okay.
Because I had some people that I used to like talk to and stuff, or go out for a coffee when they're going for coffee and go with them and then come back and stuff. But so that was there, but it wasn't as nurtured or as poured into as the one that I had when I was in Bristol.
All right.
So yeah, even the relationships you have at work can determine whether you stay in that job or not.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get uncomfortable. You're like, they don't even talk to me. Why am I here? Kind of thing. So it's important to build the right relationships, and also just being conscious. You know how they say that, if you're around people who gossip a lot, you can be sure that when you walk out of the room, they're going to be talking about you.
Ooh.
So maybe those are the kind of people to avoid. So that they're not in your circle. Okay. You're not close near. I remember, right? There's a joke that's been put out there before, and it was like 4 pastors talking, right? It was 4 pastors having a conversation. I don't know how true this is, but they were sharing their problems. So the first one started. He's like, "Oh, I have a problem with finances. I struggle to be accountable with finances. So sometimes I end up dipping into church money and all that." And then I think, and now I'm mixing it up a bit. And then one said something about, oh, he cheats on his wife or something like that. And then anyway, the last guy said, oh, my problem is I gossip a lot. I talk about things a lot. So it was obvious that now this guy is going to go and talk about them to the people around him. So yeah, you need to have the right people in your circle.
Okay, that's good. So Serena is saying that isn't that work relationship using up your mental energy sometimes?
Well, sometimes it depends on the relationship, isn't it? It depends on like the conversations that you're having and stuff. Like I think for me, like when I used to have conversations with people at work, we'll talk about like things outside of work. So like about family life, about, how are the kids? Or, the kids did Christmas play yesterday. Here are the pictures, that kind of thing. So we talk about like exciting stuff, so not necessarily draining stuff. I mean, if the person has problems and every day they're coming to pour their problems out on you, that might get draining. That might like drain your mental energy. But it depends on the level of conversation that you are having. I think that's really what's important. Depends on what's being poured out or what's being poured in, that can really affect that mental energy.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, guys, so, part of the rhyme says, show me your friend, and I'll show you who you are, or I'll show you your future, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, who are the 5 closest people around you?
To you determines, who you become, and all of that kind of stuff. So when it comes to, who's in your circle, it relates to your marriage, your business, your personal life, your success, your walk with God, and all of that type of stuff, because even in your walk with God, if you have the wrong people in your circle, when you're going through some things, you need to be able to call up some people to pray. And if you can't call up 1 or 2 people,
sometimes you might need a rescue.
Yeah. If you can't call up the right people to back you up in prayer, my God, it's gonna be.
But it's not always just about prayer, babe.
I don't know about prayer. We're getting
sometimes
there,
you need like a listening ear.
Yes,
sometimes you need a listening ear.
Yes.
So you need to have friends also that can listen in, and not just listen for their own good, but and not just people who just hear and they're hearing what they want to hear, but actually someone that is there and listening to you, listening to your pain, because we all go through stuff. We all go through stuff, and sometimes we're on a high, sometimes we're on a low. So it helps to have the right people, friends that you can confide in. Okay. Because if you're going through something and you're just keeping it into yourself and you're dealing with it by yourself, sometimes it gets weary. Sometimes it gets heavy. So it's nice to have people around you that you can confide in. It's nice to have people around you that you can say, hey, like, can we go out for a coffee and just talk and just be real?
Just be real.
You know, just friends where you know that I can be vulnerable with this person and they have my back.
Yeah.
Friends you can trust.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying about, the Christian ones, it's important because, sometimes you're dealing with some stuff, Hey, Monica, how you doing? All the way from the States. What time is it over there? It must be early morning. Thank you for being on, watching us. We love seeing you too. Thank you for being on. Thank you. You need some people that can, got your back. People that are your prayer warriors. You know what I mean? So Monica says, so true. My mom used to say, tell me who your friends are and I will tell you who you become. That's it.
Ouch.
So if your friends are prayerless, you be prayerless. If your friends are not a proper Christian, who knows? You may not, you may fall back in line in that sense. But if your friends are people who are on point, people who have what it takes to do whatever it takes to be who God has called them to be, then you will be that type of 1 a.m. God bless you. Thank you. So
thank you for being here, Monica.
Show me your friends and I'll show you who you become. That's so true. That is just so true. So who is in your circle, in your relationship with God, in your walk with God, church wise, it's not everyone at church you got to be friends with. It's not everyone, but you got to build some relationships with
Pastor.
Not everybody in church you need to be friends with. Yes, because there's the people in church that got some attitude, got some character issues, and all these type of things. But you still build relationship with them and you pray for them. You know what I mean? But you need to have the right friends in your circle. So you have extended circle, but in your main circle, you've got to know who you're letting in. Because whoever you let into your main circle can either destroy you or build you. That's it. They can either destroy you or they can build you. So what do you want?
When I was younger anyway, I was going to say when we were younger, but I don't know about your what you were taught when you were younger. But when I was younger, I remember being told, about habits like smoking and drinking. And they used to say that, it can happen because of peer pressure.
Yeah.
It can happen as a result of peer pressure. And it's weird because we sometimes think of peer pressure just in relation to young people, but even adults. Even adults experience peer pressure. So it's not just a thing that kids experience or young people experience. Even adults can experience peer pressure. So it's important to have the right people around you because your peers effectively will affect you. The people that you are around. I have the privilege of going to schools sometimes with a company called Fix Up. And one of the things that I like to say to some of the kids when we're talking about building friends, I use the Jim Rohn statement about the 5 closest people to you. And I tell these kids, I say, think about the 5 closest people to you. That's who you are. And I literally just drop it and I let it sit in, I let it marinate on them, for them to understand. And they literally sit there thinking, okay, this is my one friend, my, second, third, fourth, fifth. And they're like, oh, wow, really? Miss, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, the people closest to you, because those people, are the ones you're having conversations with. And sometimes we have friends who are drainers. I'm sorry to say, but sometimes we have friends who drain. Sometimes we have friends, you know your friends. You know the ones who have the energy. You know the ones who, sometimes they're a bit down, they're a bit negative about life. You know those different kind of friends. And when you know what your friends are like, you have to be careful, conscious, and you have to nurture. And you also have to realize, so how can I pour into this person? So if, for example, you have a friend who's very negative or who has a negative perspective on life, don't come and also be negative. Try and counteract that negativity, or try and challenge them to see life from a different perspective.
Yeah, so true. So true. See, what is Monica saying? She's typing today.
She's on a right. So during COVID, I lost friends because of different views on the virus, vaccination, and even politics. It was very sad. But then God brought me into Life on Fire, which is where I met Pastor Tunji. So it's important to be in the right communities, and this is why it helps to know like who you are.
Yeah.
It helps to know your values, because when you know your values, you start to realize that there's certain people that I can't really be having my circle
on this level with you.
Can't have them in your circle because you're just going to be clashing.
Yeah, I've moved to a new dimension, and you're still in this dimension.
And that's not to say that you can't have a level of relationship with them, but you start to realize that there's an inner circle, there's an outer court. You start to realize that there's different levels of relationship. There's some people that it's just acquaintances. That's all you can be. There's some people that, for example, they might be in your inner circle and then they hurt you. And then you struggle to rebuild the relationship. And yes, you forgive, but then you start to realize that they can't be in your inner circle anymore.
Okay, we're going there now.
So you have to be conscious of all these things, right? Monica brought it. She brought it. She said we had different views. So, for example, I'm a Christian, right? So if I have someone in my circle who's very atheist, I will struggle to have them in my inner circle. That's not to say they won't be in some level of relationship with me, but to be in my inner circle would be a struggle because we have conflicting views. Right, let's Monica say it to me again, so let's bring it in. So God pruned out the people that no longer served me, and because I allowed and let go, God birthed new and better friendships, God-fearing people.
That's it.
So sometimes you gotta move.
You've got to
sometimes you gotta move, and yes, not everyone is meant to go with you where you're going.
See,
some relationships just naturally die. They just die.
Jesus had 12 disciples, but then he even had an inner circle, the 3. Oh my God. I remember a time when people were deserting him, and then I looked at the disciples and said, "Oh, are you going to go too?" Say, "Yeah, you can go if you want to go, because you don't need to be in my inner circle." But they said, "Where shall we go? For you have life."
So was it Amnon that had the wrong friend, right?
Yep.
And he ended up sleeping with his sister.
Yeah.
Because of the pressure, or because of because of the way his friend was like speaking to him, and the way his friend convinced him.
And even Job, when Job was going through these issues, he had some friends that were talking nonsense, but there one friend had to stand up and say, "Hey, come on, get your head correct. Have you not been serving this God?" So you need the right friends around you, even in your walk with God, and even in your business, your life. That's why, you have a coach, or you have a mentor, you have inner circle friends, you have different type of relationships to help you stay secure in whatever it is that you are doing. Because there are times where you're going to go through so much pressure, and you need someone to call. You need the right people that you can lean on when you're going through some certain issues in life. But if you don't have that inner circle, those people that can be there, and sometimes, it's when you're going through those tough times that you actually know who are your friends.
It's true. A friend, there's a saying, a friend in need is a friend indeed.
Yeah. It's in that time that you know who are your true friends. And sometimes it's good that we go through that because it helps to sift out those that need to go. Those that need to go. So you need to really look this year like, okay, who is in my circle? Who do I need to let go of? Who do I need to bring in? Do you need to clear? I need to even do that. I need to clear my Facebook friends.
Declutter your
I've got
friends.
5,000 friends, and I'm thinking, what's the point? I got 5,000 friends on 2 accounts. Two accounts. I'm like, you don't serve me.
The ones you have on Facebook.
You don't serve me.
Facebook uses the word friends, but we can't really.
I
some
know,
of them
but
are
still,
just, you know.
There's still people on Facebook that should still be able to, comment or like or be able to support what you do.
That. But the interesting thing about you is that some of these your Facebook friends, when we are walking in town, we see them and they'll come to you and they'll be like, Pastor Tuji, and Tuji's like, who are you? They're like, I follow you on Facebook.
Oh, you've been a blessing to my life. I'm like, thank God. Yeah. Because I don't know, I can't know all the 5,000, but it shows that I'm making an impact somehow, that people can just walk to me up on the street and say hello. So I'm a bit of a celebrity, you know what I mean? It's all right. It's all good. But yeah, people, seriously, we've got to be able to build the right relationships because seriously, there's no level you're going to get to in life without relationships. If you want a promotion, God is not going to come down and give you a promotion.
Anything you need to do in life, you need an element of relationship.
You need people. So having the right people is important. Okay, let's go there.
So Monica says people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. That's fire. That's fire.
Come on now. So some people are in your life for a reason, and the reason may be, I don't know, to help you find a wife. The reason may be to help you build a business. Some people in your life for a season. That means they got to expire and go.
That expiration date.
Expiration date of this is the time you are in my life for, and once that's done, you're gone. And there's some who for a lifetime, which means you're long-time friends.
Do you know what you just reminded me of? You've just reminded me of a message that Bishop T.D. Jakes preached a few years ago. I've forgotten what the message is called, but I'm going to find that message. But he was talking about the people the people close to you. And the kind of people that you need to have in your circle. Yeah. And he mentioned how some people are with you for a cause.
Yep.
You know, some people are with you because you are building something. When you finish building it, they're gone.
They go.
You know, and he talked about how it's like you know when you're building a building and you have scaffolding. Some people are scaffolding in your life. So once the real building takes shape, you take away the scaffolding. The scaffolding has to go. So some relationships are like that. They're there for a season, and then when the time comes, the scaffolding has to go. Those relationships have to go. So sometimes we get hurt when certain relationships end. But could it be that where you are going, that relationship cannot go there with you? They
can't go there with you. My God.
Could it be? Could it be?
Come on, people. There are a few of you on there today. Let us talk. Come on. Let's come into this conversation. Come into this conversation. That's beautiful. Impacting people is important. God says, go make disciples of all nations. That's it.
So our relationships should be impactful. You know, there's something I read in one of Mike Murdoch's books, and he literally said that when people come into your life, or when God brings people into your life, ask yourself, or ask the Holy Spirit, what is their purpose in my life, and what is my purpose in their life?
There must be both ways, not just
and that's important. It's important to understand that because when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
It is.
It will happen.
It is.
That relationship will be abused.
Yeah. So guys, man, come on. We want to hear from you guys. Like a few of you on, please join in the conversation. Let's see you in the chat. Say what you've got to say. Nice analogy. The scaffolding needs to go once the reason is done. So true.
And that's it. But
when it stays there too long, it actually destroys the building.
It destroys the image of the building.
It destroys the image and the inside, the cracks inside the building. So not just, even though it protects the outside, but when it stays there too long, it destroys what's inside.
How do you know? Are you a building manager?
Yes, I heard one person say it last week. I'm like, oh wow, okay, all right, this is good.
But honestly, the friends we have around us can encourage us, they can challenge us, they can build us. They can even destroy us if we have the wrong friends around us. You know, some of the habits that we have are a result of the friends we have around us.
That's it. So
who are the voices you are listening to? Who has your ear? Who has your ear? It's important to know who has your ear. It's important every so often to even just go back and analyze your relationships. Like when I look at my phone book sometimes, there are people that I haven't spoken to for like years. And there was a time where I used to go through it and just delete because I'm like, well, we haven't spoken for like 5 years. So like, do I need to still have the number? It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. You know, sometimes it is a bit of both. And we say that sometimes it's understanding the level of relationship that you need to have at a particular point in time, which is why the Mike Maddock thing about knowing the purpose of that person in your life and your purpose in their life is important, because sometimes you're pouring into people that are not even interested, yet there's another friend that needs you to pour into them. There's another friend that needs your time, that needs your words, that needs your prayers, and you're busy giving it to people that ain't interested.
My God. Oh, shy.
So it's important to realize, okay, this person is here. Well, and going back again to my Bishop T.D. Jakes, the thing that he said one time during a leadership conference, where he said you need people in your life that you can glean from, people that you can reach out to, and people that you can teach down to. So you need people on all levels. You need people on all levels, but it's important that you determine your inner circle. Yes, you might not be able to control your outer circle to a great degree if you're a public figure or if you're out there, but for your inner circle, you need to guard it. You know how the Bible says, guard your heart. You need to guard your heart. You need to guard that inner circle, that inner space. Be protective about it, especially when you know what you carry, especially when you know what you're about. You know, be careful about the people that you let into that inner circle. And this is where boundaries need to be applied. Sometimes we don't want to apply boundaries, but boundaries are good for us. They're not bad.
Yeah.
If you apply them the right way, for the right purpose, they're not bad for you. They're good. They're good. Seriously.
They are.
They're there to protect you. You know, if you have people that are always draining you and you're always tired, like you go out with them for coffee, or you're on the phone to them, and after the conversation, like, man, that was long. Like, the joy is not even there anymore. So anytime they're calling, you're looking at your phone, you're like, do I have to speak this today? Do I have to speak to them today? Like, that's not right. It's not right to be in that state.
Joyful wanting to speak to your friends, man. Come on now. I want people to see my calls and say, yeah, my boy is calling me. Let's have a chat. Not that, oh
no, it's him again.
He's going to ask me for money. He's going to ask to come and sort out this problem.
And then say,
this or that.
Relationship is a two-way. Relationship is a two-way thing. It's a two-way street. You know, so it's not always about you.
It's not always about
you.
True. Wow.
Honestly, it's like our marriage. It's not about me. It's about the both of us. So relationship is not always about you. So the friends that you have, sometimes you just need to call them, say, let's go for a coffee. Yeah. And then all you do is listen to them, not talking, not airing out your problems, but just listen to them so that they can also have an opportunity. It's not always you talking. Sometimes just be silent.
Sometimes, you can just call your friend and say, hey, how can I serve you today? What can I just do for you to make you happy? What is it that you're just
do something to put a smile on their face.
Sometimes, you know, when maybe your friends having an event, you can serve at you. See, it's not a bad, we've got all these ego issues and all of that stuff. I can't serve my friend because we're friends, innit? We're age mates.
In fact, we shouldn't be in competition with our friends, right?
No. If your friend is having an event or doing something, you should be able to provide, if it's money to help them or time to serve and make sure, whatever they're doing is going well, and just be there for them as a friend. And that's what it's about. We should be able to be there as friends to help, our friend or our wife or our husband.
It's interesting you say that.
Who can we serve around us to build better relationships?
It's interesting you say that because remember a few weeks ago, I saw on a friend's WhatsApp story that she was ministering somewhere, and we're close. But we don't talk every day, kind of thing. But we're close. She's a friend that I go way back. Like we went primary school together. That's how far back we go. And so I saw that she was ministering somewhere. I got excited because I've never seen her in that in that light. Like she's a doctor, and I've always known her as the doctor, the bright one, the intelligent one, but I've never seen her ministering. So I was excited. So I told my husband, I'm like, I have to be on Zoom at this time. I have to attend this. And my husband was like, what's that? I was like, no, my friend is ministering. I got to be there. So I made sure I showed up. I made sure I was like, yeah, amen. Come on, girl, preach it, kind of thing. And I was excited. Yeah. And that should be the case. Like when we're supporting friends, or when we see friends rising, when we see friends shining, let's like gas them up, let's encourage them, let them know that somebody's got my back, somebody's here for me, kind of thing, instead of just feeling excited or just saying like anyway, like let them do their thing. No, if they're your friends,
be the friend.
If they're your friends, be the friend that you want.
Yeah.
In fact, just be the friend that you want. Instead of going and complaining your friends are like this, your friends don't do this, your friends don't do that. Be the friend that you want. Be the friend that you want.
Seriously. Guys, man, come on now. Let's hear from you. The chat is a bit dry at the moment. Come on now. Let's keep going. Let's hear from you. Let us hear from you today. What's your say? Yeah. I know. But let's hear from them. What's your say on this? But yeah, man, we need to be the friends that we want to be, or we want to see. Kind of like that. Anyway,
be the friend that you want.
Be the friend that you want. Okay.
So going back to like me going into schools with the Fix Up team, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that we do when we're talking about friends is we say, write an advert for a friend.
Oh, okay.
What are the qualities you look for in a friend, kind of thing? And it's interesting, like when you hear the kids saying, I want a friend who will do this, a friend who will do that. And when you get like the kids to read out what kind of friends they want, then you're like, oh, okay. See, you like a friend who reads. That one says he wants a friend who reads. There you go, boom, together. Like it's good. It's good to. The thing about like our friendships, it's good to have friends who make you feel comfortable.
And make you feel alive.
Who make you feel comfortable about who you are.
Yeah, make you feel like, yes, you're on top of the world.
Not friends who are bringing you down. Like, we watched a Nigerian film the other day, right? And this guy was supposedly in a relationship with a guy who was always putting her down. And I'm like, what is that? And she kept on going back. I'm like, what is your problem? The guy is putting you down. Walk away. Run. Get away from there.
And she found an older man that loved her and made her feel on top of the world, and eventually left the younger one for the older one. But hey, it's all good. But yeah, you need to have those relationships, people that can build you, people that can speak life into you. Who's in your circle? Are people always speaking negativity, or are they speaking life? Are they always daring you to be more and do more and get better and be the best that you can be and serve God and go church and do all these things? Or do you have people that are always complaining that you're always going to church?
Or you share your dream. You share your dream and they're like, it will never happen. It can never come to pass.
How can you do that? How can you do? No. You don't need those type of friends.
Have friends who believe in you.
Friends that believe in you, that speak life into you, that tell you that you can do all things through Christ. That strengthens you. Those are the type of friends you need. If you got friends that always being negative, always saying this or that about you, and telling you, you ain't got what it takes. Do you remember when this happened? Do you remember? No, they're always taking
friends who are always reminding you of your past failures.
Those are not the ones you need. You need the ones that have forgotten your failures and are looking to your future. Oh my God, that's what I'm preaching. You need the ones that are looking to
the ones that can see the strength and the potential that you have, and they can call it out
in you and tell you that, hey, you are who God says that you are. Come on now. Hey,
Monica, have a good night. It's probably after 1 now, so have a good night.
God bless you. Thank you so much. You need friends that can dig deep within you and pull out the gold in you and tell you that you have what it takes to make it.
Friends that you can partner with.
That you can partner with in business, partner with in ministry, partner with in anything. People that you know got your back and won't, talk.
You need some ride or die friends. You need some ride or die kind of friends.
Yeah, man. That's it. You need the right circle. Who is in your circle? Who are the 5 people, or maybe more, that are around you that speak life into you? Who are those people that you can call them any time and they'll pick up your call? Okay, wait, not too late. Don't be calling people at 12 a.m.
Not quite any time.
You know what I mean? But I mean, those are.
But like when you need them, you know that they can be there for you.
Yeah, you got to have those friends that you both understand. Hey, I'm married. Don't be calling me after 10 o'clock. You got to have the right ones that understand that thing.
Zarina just said it. So good quality friends, another good quality friends who are available, they have time for you. And that's very true, because in the times that we are living in, people are busy. People are busy. So yes, you need to have friends who have the time for you.
Or can create the time.
Like when you sit with them, they're not just like looking at their phone the whole time, like as if they're nervous, or looking at the clock, like as if, your time, your 5 minutes is up, your 10 minutes is up. No, friends who can just put aside all those things and just focus on you and just have quality time with you. You need those kind of friends. And be that kind of friend too. Be that kind of friend.
I'm not saying you're always busy. I don't have your time. So no. You got to try and be available, because you never know. And you don't want to be like, I wish I was available. Oh no, now he's gone. Oh, I wish. No.
I wish
I should have, could have, won out. No. You gotta be. But guys, man, who's in your circle? Who is in your circle?
And I think it's important. You know what we're saying about being the friend that you want?
Yeah.
I think is really, really important, because if you want someone, for example, that listens, but you are somebody that doesn't listen, it's not going to work.
No.
If you want somebody that's kind, but you're not kind. I remember like being in schools, and one of the kids wrote, I want a friend who has money to spend on me. And I'm like, yeah, but have you got money to spend on them? Or they're always going to be the ones spending money on you, kind of thing. So you honestly, you need, because our friendships can build us or break us. They can. Our friendships can build us or break us. No man is an island, honestly. Like, yes, there's some things that you need to go through by yourself, but there's times where you might be in a well, and you need people to lift you out of that well. So you need to have the right friends around you.
Yep.
Sometimes you might even be in a situation where you can't pray, like you are struggling to pray because you are going through some painful situation. I remember like when my brother passed away, and this week it was 15 years since he passed away. But I remember when he passed away, and I struggled to pray. It wasn't that I didn't want to pray. I wanted to pray. But then I struggled to just put the words together to pray. So it was nice to know that I had friends who were praying for me.
Yeah.
It was nice to know that we had friends around us that were praying for us. And honestly, when we go through those tough times, that is really when you see like who are those friends around you that can be there for you when you're going through the toughness in life, not just in your high moments, but actually when you're going through the
tough time.
The painful times.
My God.
The painful times. It's like this other film that we watched the other day. I don't think you watched it. I watched it. But this gentleman, he was quite rich, and he had these two friends that he always spent time with. And whenever they would plan to spend time together, he would show up late because he's in a business meeting or whatever. But what he didn't realize is that his friends were with him for what he had. They were with him for the money. So they kept it. So one time at his birthday, they showed up empty-handed, and they were having a conversation between the two of them before he came into the room. But they were having a conversation, and one of them said, "Well, I'm not really his friend. I'm just here for what I can get from him, and once I've got it, I'm gone. I'm done." And when he heard it, it was very painful to hear. But at least he then knew the truth. He then knew the truth. So we need to be discerning with the friends that we have. And we need to realize, what is my purpose in this person's life, and what's their purpose in my life? Because some people can deceive you.
Yeah.
And then when you go through the tough and the rough issues of life, they run away. They scatter. They don't have your time. But you need friends that when you're in hospital, you can call on them and say, "Look, this has happened to me. Like, where you at?" In fact, before you even say what you need, they are literally there, or they come to your rescue. You need friends that. I remember when we had Janaya, and it really dawned on me like the struggles that a new mom goes through. And I'm like, you as a new mother, you need the right friends around you, like friends that know that, we're not just coming to see you so you can entertain us, but we're coming to see you to help you. To help you out so you can rest.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Right. Let's bring in Zarina's comment here.
You have that friend who you call to share an issue with, and you end up talking about them and their issues, eh? A friend.
So you gotta have the right people around you, and it's important to also just know how you can build the relationship.
Yeah, how do you nurture it?
Because if you don't nurture the relationship is going to automatically die.
Good morning, Dad.
Good morning, Dad. Nice to see you. Or even good afternoon, because you're in Uganda and it's 3 hours difference. So good afternoon to you. But yeah, we need to know how to nurture the relationships and sustain them. Because some relationships, like we say, are for a lifetime. There are people in my life that I see them as sisters because they have been there. They have stood. Our friendship has stood the test of time, and we have been there for each other in tough times. In good times, we've celebrated together. We've cried together.
Oh God, yeah.
So you need the people in your close circle need to be people that you can laugh together, but you can also cry together.
Yeah,
if you have friends who are scared of your tears, or who are scared of your painful moments, then you cannot be vulnerable with them, because when you fall, you let slip, and they won't be there to catch you.
See, if you're a guy, you can cry. Don't pretend and say you can't cry. You can cry. If you got some boys that are there with you can cry, man.
Some boys that will support
you. When you get married and, the woman's walking down the aisle and you're crying and you got your guy holding your, yeah, come on, man. You got this. You got this. That was not me anyway, but I'm just telling you.
What do you mean that was not you? We can show the video evidence that was you.
I was just like, yeah, what's about you?
That was you, man.
Well, it's all good. But yeah, guys, who's in your circle? We've really got to build the right friendships, the right relationships, so that, anything you want to succeed in your marriage, your relationship, your finances.
And you know what? Your relationships, the
build.
right relationships can have longevity,
It can.
especially if you're pouring the right things into them. So, like the people that we say that are in our lives for like a lifetime, literally, we're conscious of what we are pouring into
them.
What we are pouring into them and how they're pouring into us. And that relationship can even translate to your children and your children's children if you nurture the relationship correctly.
You can build.
You know, there are some people that are, I think it was Monica that said it, people that are there for a reason, for a season, and people that are there for a lifetime. So don't just dismiss people when they come into your life.
Who are your lifetime friends?
Gauge what kind of relationship that's going to be.
Who are your seasoned friends and who are your recent friends? You've got to choose them well and make sure you know who they are. In 2022, you can't be taking nonsense with some people. Just
and if some friends are like dead weight, if some friends are like baggage,
cut off. Come on down.
If some friends are like baggage that you don't need right now.
On your mind,
then just distance yourself a little.
Go. If they gotta go, they gotta go. So there's a new show. And
you know, if you need to find the right friends, then do so, because honestly,
intentional.
Guard your heart, guard your space, because when you guard your space, you are controlling your peace. Because there are some people that can come and steal your peace. There's some people that can come and steal your joy. There's some people that can come and they just shut up. They just shut up.
My God.
Honestly, there's some people that will come and do that. And then there's people that will come and the baby on the inside of you will leap. You will have an Elizabeth and Mary moment.
You need friends like that can make you leap and say, okay, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to take my life to the next level. I'm not ready to keep staying in low the bar. Don't be in low the bar. Oh God!
It's funny that we're talking about this because about a week or so ago, a friend of mine messaged me. She's like, "Can we talk? Can we talk?" I was like, "Yeah, cool. I've got time for you. Let's talk." And we talked, and it's not like we talk every day again, but we are there in each other's lives. We're in the background. We're watching what each other is doing. And she said to me, she was struggling with this decision, but she knew, because of the area because of the area or the topic that she was struggling with, she said, the only person I know, or the best person I know to speak to is Elizabeth. So she knew she had to reach out to me. So what is it about you that your friends know that in this moment, this is the best person to contact? In this moment, this is the person that's going to be there for me. I need this. Oh, I can call Zarina. I need this. Oh, I can call Monica. I need this. Oh, I can call so and so. Like, do you have those people? Or are you one of those people that just goes through life like all by yourself?
Do you come to mind in people's minds?
Hey,
when it comes.
TG, what is this? Do you come to mind in people's minds?
To come to mind in other people's minds when people need a solution. Are you a solution provider? You need to be a solution provider so your friends can say, hey, I got a friend who can do that. I've got a friend who can do this. I will connect you. But if you're not a solution provider, it can never come to mind. And
honestly, don't be the kind of friend who drains. No, don't be the kind of friend that you only call somebody when you have a need. No. Don't be that kind of friend. If you want to destroy the relationship, just be like that. But if you want to sustain the relationship, if you want to grow the relationship, be conscious about what you're pouring in and what you're pouring out. Be conscious about that because all our relationships need to be nurtured, need to be invested in. So, if I have a friendship with you, but I never call you, or we never talk, I never pray for you, all that stuff, then it's not a relationship. It's not. Let's just be real about it. We're just like, acquaintances. When I see you, I see you. Seriously. You need to have the right people in your circle, people that you know that yes, this person can be there for me, and yes, I can be there for this person. And if you have people that are close to you, people that you consider in your five, but you realize that you've been slacking, you're not pouring into them as much as they're pouring into you. Start thinking about, what can I do to appreciate this friendship? Because the other thing is, sometimes we don't appreciate the people around us until it's too late. Until it's too late. Like again, I'm going back to when my brother passed away, right? We wait for death to remind us
the importance
of a relationship. We do it a lot in life. We wait for death to remind us of how important a relationship was. But once it's gone, it's gone.
It's gone.
So while you have the power to build the relationship, while you have the time and the capacity to sustain a relationship, pour into it. Build it now. Because honestly, if you received a phone call today that person passed away, how would you feel? How would you feel?
I wish I this. Oh, I wish. Like,
let's be real about that. How would you feel? Because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. It's not promised. Like yesterday in UK we had storm units. Some people passed away. Some people passed away. When they woke up in the morning, they didn't know they were going to pass away, but they passed away. So if for example, you're sitting there somewhere and a friend comes to mind, pick up the phone, call them, send them a message, say, hey, I'm thinking about you. Say a prayer for them. If you know what they're going through, what they're not going through. Thank God for them, whatever it is. Don't just let the memory of them come and go and you do nothing about it.
I've done it.
Let's be intentional with our relationships, be intentional with our friendships. And if there's people that, okay, yes, the relationship has kind of become sour and you don't know what to do with it, just do as the Spirit is leading you to do. But don't yes, I like that. I like what you say, that, because one-way relationships can be a hindrance. Honestly, like if you're always pouring into somebody and they never pour into you, it's draining. It's draining on anybody.
I remember when my dad died and I got the call. I was like, okay, yes, I was sad, but then I think after a few days, it really began to hit me that oh, I wish I this. Oh, I wish I, because we did not have a good relationship. We didn't. And one time at work, I was doing my work placement. I just broke down and started crying. I was like, what is going on there? I said, oh no, I wish I had a good relationship with that. I wish I was able to say I love you. I wish I was able, because it really hit me. And it's in those times when someone dies that you kind of really know that, was I a good friend? Was I a good son? Was I a good brother? Was I a good sister? Was I this? Was I that? And it shouldn't.
We shouldn't wait for death
to
remind us.
Happen, So even if I messaged someone last week and they haven't replied yet, I'll probably message them today. Just send it. If you get remembrance of the person, just call the person or send a message. Send
a voice note. Let them hear your beautiful voice. You know.
So, guys, we've got to build the right relationships. We've got to have the right people around us. We've got to nurture the ones that we have and make sure that we are not draining them and they're not draining us. Making sure that our relationships are brilliant, because the Bible talks about this. The Bible talks about having good relationships.
We need friends that we can be honest with.
Yeah, man. Don't
we need people around us that we can be honest with and say, okay, this thing that you said, I don't like it. And we should be able to take as much as we are giving. So if between me and Tunji, like, there's something I don't like about what he does, I come and tell him, like, hey, Tunji, I don't like this thing that you're doing. And he should be able to take it. He should be able to say, okay, I'll work on it. I'll work on it. Not, who are you to talk to me like that? Do you know who you're talking to?
I'm your husband. You don't talk to me like that. You listen when I talk. That's rubbish anyway. But yeah, baby, take it. If you're gonna eat, then you gotta take the it back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, guys, it's been good. It's been good. We gotta be able to build our relationships. You know, like you guys, thank you for always coming on there. You're part of our circle.
Yeah, like it would be draining if we came on here to talk and no one showed up.
Yeah, maybe one of these days we've got to do one where all of you can actually come on screen. That would be probably good, and we get to talk, and yeah, we'll probably do a live Olujimi, session like that, and people can come on screen and we just have a chat.
Proper live conversation.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It'll be good. You're part of our circle. You know what I mean? So thank you. Thank you. But guys, share the video, let other people watch it. It's been live. It's been lit.
If you've got a question to ask, now is probably the time because we're now like rounding up.
You're rounding up.
Because we've got a day to get on with, but
yeah,
we're rounding up. So if you have a question or if you have a comment,
some announcements
that you wanna make, then feel free to make that comment now. Or do you wanna do your announcement?
Yeah, listen, let's not forget,
there's a couple of things we've got going on.
Fundraiser.
So we're still fundraising for girls in Uganda. So the Girl Get Up and Shine fundraiser is still ongoing. It's something that we're going to be doing for a prolonged period of time. So it's not just for now and we forget about it, but it's something that we're going to be doing for a prolonged period of time. So if you can support in any way, shape, or form, the link has been shared on Facebook and on YouTube. You can click the link and make a donation. You can help us share it and spread the word. And literally, what we are trying to do is trying to provide some resources for young girls in Uganda who, they're in situations that are not ideal. And we want to remind these girls that regardless of what has happened to you, you can still shine. Regardless of what life has thrown at you, you can still make something of yourself. So that is really the purpose of the Girl Get Up and Shine fundraiser. Also, another one next week, Saturday, I am having an event. It's £10 to join to sign up and reserve your space, but it's really to help you build the confidence to pursue your dreams. It's an event to challenge you, to inspire you, to motivate you, to step out and do the things that are on your heart to do. Because honestly, like we say, tomorrow is not guaranteed to anybody. So don't die with your dream. Don't die with your dream. If you have a dream, what can you start doing today to make it a reality? So that's the kind of thing that we're going to be talking about, and that's next week, Saturday. If you want more details, send me a DM.
In May, she's having another event, a bigger event, live event. You gotta be there in person. It's gonna be live. So in May, we'll give you more details.
And we've got some Christian women events coming up. Watch the space. I'll be sharing it. Hopefully this week I'll share some stuff. This next week coming, I'll share some stuff about it. I'm really working towards building a network, a community, friends, right? Building a network of women. It's going to be called Dare to Believe Women, but it's a network of women, old and young, where we can nurture relationships, where we can stir each other into the place of purpose, the place of destiny. We can stir each other up into understanding our identity. We can help each other to heal from brokenness and just have a new start and inspire each other to walk in faith and to have the confidence in God, where we can mentor each other. So it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
And lastly, the Kingdompreneur Summit is back live this year. We are coming live. We did it first live in 2019. COVID hit. We couldn't go live. We couldn't do anything in 2020 at all. So we didn't have anything in 2020. Last year was virtual, but we back live. This year on my birthday is gonna be great. In June the 11th, we've secured the venue. But who knows? If we're trying to see, we need partners. We need sponsors, so that we can do bigger things with this event. Okay, so if we can, get a bigger venue as well, if we could, we're trying to do t-shirts, we're trying to do different things that we can have at the event. So if you want to partner with us, send us a message. If you want to sponsor anything, we want banners, tablecloths, t-shirts, and different things that we can have at the event. So if you want to partner with us, just send myself a message or send Liz a message. Let us know anything you can give towards it. Or if you want to sponsor it yourself, then boom, that's great. Or you want to connect us with anyone, that's even better.
or if you just want to connect with us, like today
Yeah,
we've talked
send us a
about building
message.
relationships, we've talked about the kind of
Yeah,
friends
if
you
you
need
want
to
to be
have
our
in your
friend.
circle. If you want to connect with us, if you want to go for a coffee with any one of us, like feel free to get in touch. Like this, one of the things that I'm intentionally trying to do this year is to network, and not just networking with people online, but actually being
In
able
person. Let's go
to
out.
network
Let's
with
go out.
people in person. So like this later, like when we finish here, I'm going to Costa Coffee to meet up with some other ladies where we're going to just be discussing the Bible, and having a cup of coffee and some cake, you know. So that's the kind of thing that I enjoy doing. So honestly, like if you need to reach out to us, we're both coaches in different capacities. If you need to write a book, Tunji's your guy. If you need to grow in your confidence, I'm your girl. So feel free to just reach out to us. If you even just want somebody to pray with you.
That's it.
If you're going through some stuff and you want somebody to stand in the gap with you and pray with you, honestly, guys, like just because you're seeing us on the other end of the screen every Saturday, it doesn't mean that we are not approachable or you can't reach us. So feel free to reach out to us.
Available.
We can make time. We can make time.
Yeah. So guys, we gotta pray. All right. Father, we just thank you this morning. We give you praise, we give you glory, honor, and adoration. We thank you that this is the season where we build right relationships. We pray for wisdom, we pray for guidance, that we'll be able to nurture these relationships that we have and the ones that are coming into our circle as well. Father, we pray that anyone that does not need to be in our circle will be removed, and you will replace them with the right people in the name of Jesus. Let's build our relationships in our family, in our marriages, in our businesses, in our careers, in our churches, in our walk with you, oh God. Help us to build in every area of our lives so that we can be the best that we can be, and help others to fulfill destiny and purpose as well in the name of Jesus. Your name be praised. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Guys, thank you very much. It's been lit. It's been great.
We love you guys.
We love you. So I think we're just gonna play that video again so you can listen to.
Have an amazing weekend. Have an amazing weekend. And you know, after this conversation, go and call a friend, phone a friend, message a friend, take a friend out for coffee, take a friend out for a meal. You know, do something to build and nurture the relationships that you have.
Yeah, do you want to be a millionaire? Call a friend. Who knows?
Your friend might have $1 million to give you.
Your friend might have $1 million to give you. So guys,
but God bless you guys. God bless you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here for us.
The people you meet are going to be the most important thing in your life. And that goes for your family, that goes for your friends who you have right now. Yeah, you want to be surrounded by great people. You really are the average of the 5 people or 10 people that you're surrounded by. We all think that we can withstand influence. We can.
Good habits are hard to come by. But what's even harder to come by are people that have good habits that you can be around. That's even tougher. You are the average of the 5 people that you spent the most time with growing up. Or most of the guys and gals on the planet. Let's go out and have a drink after work. You don't say, oh, well, he's a high performer. She's a pisshead. That's not how you pick the group, is it? I'm going to make you give me 2 lists. One list, your goals. Intermediate, short-term, long-term goals. Okay, both in personal and business. You put another list together and you say who you met with from Sunday midnight till Saturday midnight for 1 week. Who you talked to or who you met with. Okay, and you put the list together. Okay, let's say there's 50 people on this list. Now, you put a number by every person that you emailed, Skype, tweet, and which one of your goals on this other side of the paper they have anything to do with. You will be staggered, stunned, gobsmacked, awestruck. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
When you cultivate who's around you, you're cultivating who you are. You don't think so. You think those are just your friends or who you're killing time with. You think it's for fun. You are whittling yourself. You are sculpting yourself out of those people. You just don't think about it that way. But that's what's happening.
toxic people, we get it, right? We all understand that we want to get rid of toxic people. That's more obvious. The real danger, I think, is ambivalent relationships. So these ambivalent relationships are the people where either you don't know how you stand with them, so you don't know if they like you or not, and they're also the people where you don't know if you really enjoy hanging out with them or not. And the biggest thing that happens with friendships is they do go stale. And it's a very weird thing to say, but there are people, I'm sure you can think of someone in your life where every time their number pops up on a text message, you're like, oh, it's been a while, I better call them. Or, you see them out of convenience or out of location. And I think that those are the kind of friendships that really drain you. There's actually a study that was done on ambivalent relationships. They did a research study with police officers. And they asked police officers to identify the amount of toxic people in their workplace and the amount of ambivalent people. And they found that the police officers who had more ambivalent relationships were sick more often, had less happiness at work, and didn't like their job as much than police officers who had toxic people. And the reason for this is because if you have a toxic person, boundaries are easy. They ask you to go out to lunch and you're like, no thanks, right? Like, it's a no thanks. Whereas if an ambivalent person asks you out to lunch, or asks you to their birthday party, or asks you to work on something, it takes this mental energy where you have this thing where you're like, ooh, like, will it be good? Would I rather eat alone at my desk, or would I rather have lunch with this person? And when it's not always easy, that's an incredible drain on our emotional energy. And if you are an introvert or an ambivert is someone who is kind of splits between extroversion and introversion, your energy is finite, and our mental space is finite. I thought that mental space was sort of endless. Right? You could learn forever. You could think about things forever. But actually, we only have a certain amount of mental time every day. And if we're dedicating that to trying to figure out if someone likes us or not, which is a very important thing, we all like to be liked, whether we admit it or not, that I think is a waste of mental energy. Why would we want to spend it towards that? That's why I think ambivalent people are more dangerous. Are you ever doubting that they're really happy for you? I think that that's the only question you have to ask yourself. And it might be an inconvenient truth. Like, don't answer it off the cuff. Like, don't answer it really quickly. Like, try to think of all the times in the last 6 months that you've seen them and shared something. Did you feel like they were as happy as you were about your happiness? A really true good friend will mirror and match that excitement with you. Someone who's not as happy for you will come in with dream killer questions. What happens is I started to see friends who were not only lying to me, but lying to themselves. And I had to make a choice. Was I either going to have fewer high-quality friends or less quality but more quantity friends? And this was right at that stage where I also was trying to figure out what kind of friendships that I want to have on social media. And it's the same, I think, question that we all have to ask ourselves. I think of social media friendships like cotton candy. There's not a lot of substance there. There's not a lot of nutrition.
Right.
You wouldn't text them if you were going through something hard. You wouldn't, call them if something happened to them. But it's a fun, exciting friendship. The thing is you eventually need to have a meal, right? Like, cotton candy is okay every once in a while, but if you have too much of it, your teeth begin to rot from it. They ache from the sugar, and they give you a sugar headache. And so I think that it's about what are the friends that give you nutrition, and then which are those friends that are kind of the surface ones. And that was a big decision I had to make.